Hi, my name is Miss Woody. I'll be teaching the online art class this semester. A little bit about me. I got my bachelor's in art education from UCM, back when it was CMSU, and I got my master's at Baker. I continue to take art classes at the Art Institute and UCM. I took 2 art classes this summer that helped my creativity in collage, mixed media, and painting this summer. And I also took courses in dyslexia and leadership. So I always enjoy learning and just find reasons that I need to learn more. I have 4 kids, ages 8, 8, 8, and 12. Yes, you heard 8 3 times because they are triplets. And they are all Lee Summit R7 learners. So we're doing this online, in-person learning thing together as well. And we're going to just make it our best. So we have a lot of fun ahead of us as online learners. My spouse is a science buff. He works in a local lab and has a whole new world knowledge of COVID outside of my understanding. But you know, it's been an interesting conversation in our house this summer. I grew up in Lee Summit. I graduated from Lee Summit High School. And I have kind of hung around Lee Summit about my whole life. So I have been teaching in the district also for 16 years. I started with a long-term sub job up in Park Hill, and then I joined the crew at Lee Summit High School after graduating there and taught there for 14 years, and then felt like I needed a little bit of change, and I came over to West. So I've enjoyed teaching in Lee Summit, I've enjoyed growing up in Lee Summit, and I enjoy raising my family in Lee Summit. As you can tell, I'm committed to Lee Summit. And because of that, I really care what I'm doing and hope that I help your learner have a fun, creative semester in Drawing One. I have a couple pets and some wonderful hobbies. I love anything outdoor and anything that's a challenge. I know that sounds crazy, but I love challenges and adventures. It just gets my brain going, and all has to do with that problem-solving skill. So my pets are just a part of my family, just like my kids are, and I'm kind of missing them with how much I've been at work, but, you know, I'll see them when we get home, right? Here's my contact info. Virtual lessons and instruction. This is going to be a little different. But we do have some tutoring time and some contact time to connect. It's going to be a little different for you full online learners because we don't really have a set time to meet. However, I do have some times to connect with you. So that is what that is for. Here's an example of the schedule. So we've got, you don't really need that because you guys are virtual learners. So we'll just skip right through that stuff there. Virtual learning expectations for students. Here we go. So this is Titan. I know some of you guys are from all over the district, but these are our learning expectations. So please review these with your learners and let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll be using a kind of fake classroom like this here. I'm going to click on it, and this is going to take me to our online classroom. With this, you can click different things and it'll take you to the syllabus. It'll take you to a calendar, which I need to change because that will be for online only. We'll get that fixed. This will be art history. It was working, but now it's not. So things like that. Again, you know, we're going to have things that don't work right and some things that do. So right now, this link was working and now it is not. And same with this one. But this one, I believe, works. Yep, there it is, my cat. And we'll be, so this is a link. So all these different things will be links. And that'll get you guys hopefully connected with learning and as parents information. You can just click on any of those things. So that will be nested in Schoology. Schoology will have that on there for you guys to look at. So I will use Schoology as a platform for our class. We'll make week folders and projects will be due weekly or bi-weekly, just depending on what kind of assignment we're working on. PowerSchool. I would encourage you as parents to connect with PowerSchool and Schoology. Make sure you guys have a user account. I was not doing that as a parent, and in the spring I found it to be very, very, very helpful with keeping up with my learners. So I ended up signing up with a parent account. I could look on there what they needed to do before they even woke up. I made them a Post-it note of, hey, these are the things you need to do, bullet points. I said, that's your task for the day. And they would do their checklist, and that gave me a chance to work. Also, I needed to be able to work, and I needed them to be able to work. So for you guys at home, online learning, you guys are going to need to, keep up with that. And parents, keep up with your learners. Many are self-motivated, but many still need guidance. We're going to be sending home some art supplies. This is some of the art supplies that you guys will be getting. This is to help reduce the need for you guys to go out and buy this stuff. We've done our best to come up with supplies that we can send home. However, we don't have enough supplies to send everything home. So you will have a small amount of supplies to go pick up. Those are due back after we are done, unless you purchase the material on your own. That stuff you keep. We are a partnership. Parents work with learners, learners work with teachers, teachers work with parents, parents work with teachers, teachers work with learners. You guys, we have to do this together. We have to be a partnership. So if there's something that's not quite working right, or if there's something that is working awesome, we need to communicate and make sure that we keep doing those things, or that we change things. So it's going to be also interesting. We're not all the same learners, so we have to be flexible. We have to be accommodating. And we have to kind of monitor what's going on within learners, within our students, within our children. So we have to build a partnership. How do I grade art? What does the art studio look like? Well, creating art. You're going to be creating projects and skill activities. You'll be dialogue, participating in dialogue discussions of your work, peer work, giving feedback, participating in class discussions, either verbally or written. That dialogue is going to be really important. Research workbook. This you guys are going to have to go get. You're going to need to get yourself a sketchbook. And inside that sketchbook is what we call our research workbook. So that research, I always like to put like a calendar in there. But we research. We come up with investigations of skills and developments of media to gain confidence. So in here, we draw, we sketch, we create examples so that we are ready to go on a project and do a project with it. You can't just jump into a project and say, oh, I know what to do. Well, sure, but are we ready? So just like a lab scientist will research, analyze, come up with what works, what doesn't work, we're doing the same thing. We're scientists in our own nature. So we are going to be researching what works, what doesn't work, coming up with problem-solving skills, experimenting, coming back and talking to the class, hey, I found out that this really works, and then going to a project. Also with that is art exploration, coming up with art history and how it affects our culture and society. Why did this artist make this piece? How did it affect society? What was going on in society and global events at that moment that may have sparked that artist to make that piece of work? Why did that artist find that as an outlet? And how does it tell a story? And then how does it connect with us and help us tell our story? So that art exploration is such a fun part of art history and us as artists and art making. So we talk about that stuff. We create artwork about it. We research in our workbook about it. It's just a cycle. Students with late work, it's going to be really important you guys follow this late policy. There's a difference between daily work and major class projects. The daily work is, hey, we're going to draw 5 thumbnail sketches today. A project is, we're going to draw a self-portrait and shade it. Obviously, one is going to take more time than the other. Both are due on a due date. Both will get zeros if not turned in on time. Major class projects, however, can have 1 additional week to finish outside of class work. That's because typically those projects do take a little bit extra time, and a lot of times students like to do their best on those. So we want to encourage them to do their best and make sure they have plenty of time to finish those with ample ability to show what they know. After that project has been given a week, if it's not turned in, the highest grade given will be a 59%. After that, it'll be given whatever is eligible. If the project's half finished, well, then you're going to be looking at a much more reduced grade. So make sure that you're not letting your student turn work in late. I will have a late work submission form right down here. That's for the student to be held accountable. If they need to turn something in late, they need to fill out the form, provide a reason for why it's late and how many days late it is. After, the student has done that, I will go back in and regrade the work. I will not know to grade the work without that form being turned in. Online learning. All right, so your student is a full-time online learner. The student will need support from you and support from us. So with that, set a goal. Write out a clear schedule. Do research. If I say we're going to draw, an eye today, and I do a video, and the student doesn't like the video or doesn't connect with the video, or the video just wasn't enough. Well, you can Google how to draw an eye, and you come up with about 500 videos. Thank goodness for technology. So, we've got the benefit of being able to do research and have a lot of options out there for gaining other ways to get information. Create a study space and review what you already know. Make sure that your learner isn't just forgetting what they've already learned in other art classes, but pull that knowledge in. Getting involved in discussions. They have to get involved in discussions. That's how we learn from each other. That's how others are prompted to kind of spark intuition of, well, I thought this about that piece of work, and spark that dialogue conversation and get to really know and dive into that artwork. Engage with the instructor, that's me, having conversations with me, talking to me about what's going on. And, if I am missing something, help me understand what I'm missing. Or just reach out and say, I just need some extra help. I'm not quite sure how to shade this shape. I'm not getting it. Be successful, reach out, get knowledge, and do the circle. We got to be there for our learners. So tackle time management, find a good study space, form a study group. A couple of you guys might know each other. Take breaks, reach out to your professors, and don't forget to allow grace and praise, forgiveness. You guys, we're going to make mistakes. My technology isn't always going to work. Your technology isn't always going to work. We're going to have things that are going to come up that are going to get in the way, but we have to work together. We have to problem solve so that those problems don't keep happening, and how to overcome those challenges. A couple ways to benefit your learning: experience art through exhibitions. Go out, see artwork, go online, see artwork, check out stuff. It really, especially if you have those conversations at home, you guys look at artwork together and talk about it. Those conversations then come to the classroom, and they're great conversations. Why did the artist make what they made? What kind of paint was it? How thick was the paint? How thin was the paint? Was it even paint? Why did they do what they did? Is it art? What makes it art? Those conversations are always great if started by someone close, like a parent, and then brought to the classroom to challenge other minds and other learners. Lastly, I do participate as a sponsor as National Art Honor Society. The art club is something I've done for years. I really enjoy it. It's going to look a little differently this year. It might be in person, it might be online. We're not quite sure at this point, but we're hoping to do small group activities. The goal of the club is to bring art to our culture and society and influence the community with art, positive art making. So we make murals. We've painted the bathrooms at the high schools and the elementary schools. We've painted murals. We get out there and we do community service hours, and we share our love and passion of art with others and inspire others to enjoy art. So with that, you can get a graduation cord if you earn the hours at your building. So just something to think about. As I wrap up this conversation, I want to say that I'm really, really excited to get to know your learner and your student. Like I said before, I've grown up in this district. I am raising my kids in this district, and I work in this district. So I'm really passionate about doing the best job that I can. And I'm really, really passionate about art. I love art. I love seeing people create art and grow with their art knowledge and concepts. And so I'm really excited to teach your learner about art and art history. So if you guys have any questions, please reach out. Open up that partnership right away with your questions. And I look forward to seeing your learner in just a couple days.